YouTube, welcome back. Now, I met with some fellow content creators to come up with a list of things that we would personally like to see added into Wuthering Waves, and here is the list. I'm going to go through one by one. I will have them timestamped down in the description below, and speaking of things down in the description below, I will also have the content creators I spoke to, Loki Harbor and Bright Knight. This is a culmination of our ideas of things that we would like to see added into Wuthering Waves, so please go ahead and check out their channels linked down in the description below. My name is AJ, and let's get right into it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is, these are just my kind of like notes, but restart Holo so it doesn't kill your characters. Now I know this might be a skill issue thing, but let's just say your team consists of Shorekeeper, Shakona, and Arrow Rover. And let's say Shakona and Shorekeeper are dead, and you just have Arrow Rover on the field. And let's just say he's on life support, and he's about to die, and you're like, you know what? I just want to restart this hologram fight. And you hit P if you're on PC or whatever, and you want to restart it. What happens is that the hologram bosses will actually finish through their animations even if you hit restart, and they'll actually kill your characters. Now if you only have one character left, what's going to happen is that the enemy will finish through its animation, kill your character, and then you have to revive your entire team and then go back over and restart the hologram fight. I think if you just hit P or whatever to restart the hologram fight, I'll show you guys a visual example on screen, but I think that you should be able to actually just stop the combat and just restart it, so that never happens. The second thing that I wanted to actually bring up is going to be auto synthesize. Now this one I think is a pretty big one. It just kind of helps with smoothing out some processes in the game. I'm going to actually pull up the character menu. I'm going to pull up a character that I don't have the materials synthesized for, but for example, if I wanted to synthesize these materials, I already know, because I've been playing, that I have enough materials to synthesize these, but it would just be nice when you hit activate that it would auto convert these into the gold ones, because if I go to synthesize, right, if I look at this, I have plenty of these to synthesize. So to convert these into these different materials, I think that if you have the option, I think they should give you the option to actually just auto convert these, so that you don't have to click on this, go to synthesize the material. It just auto does the amount that you need, and then you can just keep on going about your merry way, leveling up some of these characters. That's just one thing that I think would be kind of a nice quality of life as far as for like what they could add into the game. The next thing that I wanted to actually bring up is going to be 5-star skins have different animations. Now these are different animations from the actual base skin. So a good example of this would be actually Jincy. So if you take a look at Jincy and her outfit, she actually has like some different look, and like it just looks different visually. And so I think it would be cool for example, like the new Carlotta skin and the new Chang-Li skin, they do something very similar, or the animations are unique to the actual specific skin, or you know, it might change the way that it looks as far as for when you're actually doing the combat with the skin on. So that is something that I would personally like to see, just more 5-star skins in general, and then or just more skins in general, and then more animations as far as for, or specific animations specifically for 5-star characters. That would be great. The next thing I wanted to bring up is a better battle pass. Now Loki Harbor brought this up, which I think is actually pretty good. I personally get the battle pass for Wuthering Waves, but I think that they should at least when you are getting the battle pass, either giving you at least a 10 pull, or something of similar value, at least like, you know, 1600 of these, or at least 10 pull. I think that would be just a good minimum amount. I think that's pretty fair of an ask. The next thing I wanted to bring up is actually going to be going back to major cutscenes from the game. So for example, let's just say you've been playing through the story and you want to be able to, if you go over to the gallery and you want to be able to see, let's just say a cutscene. By the way, spoiler, if you guys haven't done 2.2, the 2.2 story, if you haven't done the 2.2 story where you meet Cardothea and with Cantarella, it'd be really cool to actually see the fight sequence. I know you can go through these, but I think it'd be cool to be able to actually like go back and watch the actual cutscene. I think that would be pretty sick. So that was one thing that we thought would be a pretty good idea. Now, let me bring up the next one, which is going to be events disappear after completing. Now, this is my own personal gripe because sometimes there's just too much stuff on this event page. I believe that I have one of these events completed. It's one of them, this one, okay? I have this event completed. I don't think that this event should stay on this page. I think that the more events that you complete, the more that they should just disappear. Maybe add another tab where it just shows completed events, or put it over here of like events you've completed. But I do think that like an event like this that you've already done and finished should just disappear from this page, so you actually know which events you still need to do or complete or collect all the rewards for. I think that that should be on this page, and not just like, oh hey, by the way, I know that you claimed all your gifts of Grand Reunion. This doesn't need to be on this page. So I think them just disappearing and moving to a different page would just be nice to clear up some of the visual clutter in the game. Now, the next thing I wanted to bring up was number 12, a better ecosystem. Now, this is a little bit more in depth. And this has to do with the data bank, so we're going to pop this open. If we take a look at the data bank, I think all of this is fine. The problem that I have is that when you are trying to, for example, level your echoes, you want to see specific echoes that you have, or you just want to see all of them. If you want to convert these or trash these, or if you want to modify your echoes, so the main stats, there is a lot of coming back to this page. The other thing that I wanted to bring up is I believe Saint Totas brought this up in a video, but the actual best way to get your like value back on, for example, the tuner materials, so the materials that you, not the tuners, but the echo experience, so the experience points that you use into actually leveling the echoes from 5 to 10, 15, so on. The best way to do it is actually you go to your backpack, you click your echoes, you hit trash, and then you would select this, or you could sort by discarded. If you have discarded ones, you're like, I leveled this to plus 15, it's trash, I can't use it. Like for example, this, the best way to actually do it is to actually go like this and remove, and then you actually get let's just do this just as an example. So you would actually get more materials back, right, from doing this than if you were to just feed them straight into another echo. So you get more bang for your buck, and I think that all of that kind of stuff should just all be in one simple page as far as for dealing with the echoes. So I think that that's one change that I think would be really nice, just to simplify everything as far as for the ecosystem. The next thing I wanted to bring up is Holo combat, or Holo co-op combat, or just better co-op combat events. I think we do have some pretty good ones, but I would just like to see more. I think honestly, me, Loki, Harbor, and Bright Knight all said like, oh, this would be sick. Bright Knight was the one that brought up the Holo co-op. I think that would be super sick. Just as like, oh, you beat this, or you beat a wave, or you could challenge with your friend a hologram fight. I think that would be super fun. So that is something that I think we all were like, oh yeah, that would be so cool. I think that the co-op has the potential to be really fun, and I think being able to do things like holograms and stuff like that would just really just improve the fun of the game and encourage like playing with your friends. So more than what it is right now. The next thing I wanted to bring up is this one's like a pretty big one. This is why it's number 10 on the list. When you're tuning echoes, this is probably the most annoying thing, honestly, for myself. I'm like, it just takes too many steps to level these echoes. So let's just say you're going to upgrade your echo, right? You're going to add materials, right? So you're going to select these. We'll just do this just for the sake of the video, right? We'll just put these into the this echo. We're going to hit upgrade. Instead of having to go upgrade right here, we're going to click it. We're going to hit tune. It's going to take us over to here, then go to tuning. It would just be nice if this tuning thing was just on this page. So you just click tune, and it just shows you this right here. You just select tune this. boom, attack percent, we'll take it. But it would just be nice to not have to just click between these two. I know this is like a really small thing, but it really does just make it feel a lot better, because if you're like tuning a bunch of echoes, or you're like leveling them up and you're using your tuners, I think it would just be a lot better to be able to just make this process a lot more streamlined and a lot faster. The next thing I wanted to bring up is better leveling systems for characters, or leveling up character suggestions. Now, this one I'm taking straight out of like ZZZ, or even, I know it's in Hawkeye Star Rail, but let's just say you pull for a new character. If it's not like a brand new one, let's say it's a rerun like Shorekeeper, right? And you're like, I don't really know what I need to level up. It would be nice if they said like, hey, here's the weapon that we recommend that either players use or that we recommend. Here's the echo set that we recommend. Here are the main substats you want to run. We also recommend you run a 4-3-3-1-1 build. We recommend that you run either spectre damage or energy recharge, whatever it is for that specific character. I think that would also be nice. I also think the other thing they should recommend too is going to be which of your forte skill like trees you should be upgrading. Because if I'm just going to be real, like a character like Chacona, you really don't need to upgrade the resonant skill or her intro skill, but like the forte circuit, specifically the liberation and her normal attacks, are the most important ones you want to level. And so like you don't need to spend time farming for these characters. So I think that they should just straight up just use the idea that they have from like Zenless Zone Zero or Honkai Star Rail as far as for leveling characters. I think that would just be nice for people who are new to the game. They just got a character, they're like, I don't really know what to upgrade, and plus it saves people a lot of like resources, unnecessary resources that they might be spending on like just leveling up their skill. And it's like, this character doesn't even really need the skill level it up. They just need, like Chacona, just their basic attack, their ult, and their forte circuit. I think those are like the things that are most important. And so I think that that would be super helpful for newer players and just like people who might not know what to do. Instead of having to watch a guide, I know it takes away from guide makers, but I just think it would be nice as something that would be useful for newer players. The next thing is Echo XP more easily farmable. Now I know you can do like the weekly reset thing that's in Renacita. I think that's cool and all, but I do think that there should be an option to specifically farm for Echo XP. So the same way that you can farm for weapon XP, character XP, shell credits, or whatever they're called, I think you should also be able to just straight up farm for the Echo XP as well. So I think you should be able to just farm for those so that you can, if you wanted to, let's just say build a character and you pre-farmed a bunch of echoes for them, and then they come out and you want to bam 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 level up a bunch of these echoes and see what they roll into. You can actually pre-farm for those echo like leveling up process that you're going to do. I think that would be great for people who want to build up a character, or they want to instead of running out of these little sealed tubes, which I happen to do all the time. I always run out of these little sealed tubes if I can find a character that doesn't have levels yet. So I always happen to run out of these premium sealed tubes. I run out of these all the time. Now I have 75 right now, but a lot of times it's like 4. So it'd be nice if you could just have a domain similar to the weapon XP and the character XP, where you can just farm these. So if you wanted to level echoes and just gate it behind spending energy, same thing with character levels and weapon like experience. So that's that for echoes. Now, a training area. Now this is one I think we all agreed on, which is a training area where you can take your characters or your teams and you can level, or you can play with them either at the max level or you can take them at the level that they are. You can take them into a zone where, similar to the training simulations that they have for the character demos. So when you first pull a character, they have the guidebook where they show you like, hey, here's how to play the character. I think that they should have this, but just a free area where you can try out different teams, you can try different builds, and it's just like whatever mob you want to select, and you can just test them out and just beat up on enemies, try out rotations. If you're like, hey, I want to try out this like quick swap type thing with this team, but I don't want to go against an enemy that's beating me up the whole time while I'm trying to learn these rotations. I think it'd be nice if there's just an area where you could actually take your units and test them out and try these different rotations or try different things. So I think a training area would be really cool where you can just sit and just try things out. The next thing I want to talk about, number 6. More team spots than 10. Now this is one that I was like, oh yeah, like after playing Wuthering Waves for a while, I said they definitely need to add this into the game. So if you go over to here to your team spots, there's only 5, and currently, like, sometimes I want to have like a Carlotta team or a different team. Like, there's so many new teams now that it's like, if you have, let's just say, a bunch of characters, I feel like 5 spots is kind of not a lot. So we said like 10 to 15 maybe slots. I think 10 is pretty fair. I think maybe they should add more as we get more characters on the roster. But as of now, I think that just more team spots would be nice. The next thing we're going to go over is going to be, now this one is going to be a hot take, and I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree with us on this one. But I think that after a certain amount of time, a limited character could move to the standard banner. An example that we gave when I talked about it yesterday on stream was a character like Jian or Yinlin. Now, the reason why we brought these characters up is because, well, they've been in the game for almost a year now, pretty much a year. And either they've had a couple reruns or people's had opportunities to get them, and I do think that they should just be able to move to the standard banner. I think after a certain amount of time. Now some games do it like immediately. I don't think that should be the case. I think it should be like, you know, maybe a year's time, something like that, where they start moving over to the standard banner, so that you have options to try to get them. I know this one is probably the most controversial one that we have on the list, but I do think it'd be cool for people to be able to get characters like Jian. Like, I would like to get Jian if he was on the standard banner. At least I knew, like, oh, like I lost a 50-50, I might have a chance to actually get like a Jian, a character I might want. I think they should, if they did do this, slowly roll it out, do a few characters at a time, not just be like, hey, by the way, we're putting Chen Si, Jian, Yinlin, and Chang Li on the standard banner. Like, let's slow down and let's just do a couple characters at a time. Or maybe you take the characters a little bit weaker, but I don't know. That's just the idea that we had. The next one is an auto claim button. I think this one is probably, we're getting into the top 5, all right? These are the big boy ones. Auto claim. I think that auto claim would be huge for the game. This is just something that's just so simple, but like, if say you're doing an event, I'll bring this up. Let's just say you're doing an event, right? And you want to be able to claim, let's just say you go through, you do this event, right? If we can pull up the rewards, let's say you do this event, you've done all this, but you haven't claimed it, right? You grind through, knock this out. There should just be an auto claim button where it just claims everything instead of click, claim. That just is such a waste of time. I think there should be an auto claim for pretty much everything in the game. If you do quests, events, whatever it is, there should be an auto claim, especially with like even the, oh gosh, don't fall off. The rewards, like these trophies, if you have a bunch of them, they should just have an auto claim where you just claim all of them if you want. I think that would be nice. It's just really annoying to just click through every single one. I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with this change. Coming in at number 3, top 3, boys, cross synthesized boss materials. Now I'm going to explain this one a little bit more in depth because I do think I should show you guys what I'm talking about. So let's just say that you are farming up the Ascension boss materials for a character. Let's just say I'm leveling up John Chen, right? I believe that if I have all these extra ones from characters that I've completely maxed out, so level 90, why can't I just take these and just convert them over to the ones that I need? You know what I'm saying? I think that that would be really nice. This would just, it would just be really helpful as far as for example, like this, the Dragon of Dirge, right? I needed one more piece for Shakona, but I had to spend energy, even though I could have converted one of these into one of these, but I had to do another boss run, which gave me 5, and now I have just 3 just sitting here that I'm just not going to use because, well, you can't convert the boss materials. So I think that would be really, really nice to be able to do. I just think that's something that's just a quality of life. Coming in at number 2, more 4 stars. Okay, these are like the most important ones. I think having more 4 stars would be really nice. The example that Bright and Loki gave was, oh, it would be nice if we had a character that was like a 4-star version of Phoebe. There was a really good like kind of sub DPS kind of spectral applier for a character like Zani, right? Not saying that you don't have Rover, but it would be nice to just have more 4 stars in the game. I just feel like if you take a look at, if we just come over here to the gallery and you look at this, how many 5 stars we have compared to 4 stars, there's not a lot. And the new ones that they added into the game was is it Yohu and Lumi? That's pretty much it. All these other ones are just standard, and we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. That's it. We have 11 out of, look at how many 5 stars we have. I'm not even gonna count them, but that's a lot. So I think that it would be nice if we just got more 4 stars in the game. I think the more 4 stars, the better. It also allows us to not have this feeling of like, oh, like I have to pull for every single 5 star because every 5 star is like best in slot. Now, I'm not saying do the Genshin route where you have like Bennett, Sangcho, Kuki, Shinobu, Sucrose, Zhangling as like have the 4 stars, the best supportive characters in the game, but I do think that they should be really solid, and I think we should have more 4-star characters just to give people more free to play options instead of feeling like they need to pull for every 4-star. Please make more Sanwas. Like, I mean, this girl is goated. All right, just give us another Sanwa equivalent for whatever we need, whether it's error or erosion or whatever the new debuffs are. It would just be nice if we just had more 4 stars. The last one, and I think this is probably the biggest one that we came up with, and I think it's the most important. Before I tell you guys, please type down in the comment section below what you guys think it is. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a second. Okay, I'm gonna read your comments and see if you guys are right, but the number 1 change or thing that we would like added into Wuthering Waves, drum roll please. Weekly bosses are not time gated. Now, I know how many of you guys probably did the Fleur-de-Lis boss and was like, oh, hey, you want to level up your Arrow Rover? Yeah, sorry, you can't max them till like 3 weeks from now. Have fun with your Rover at level 6 traces. It would just be nice if not only if they weren't time gated, but for example, you do, let's just say the weekly boss drops you, let's just say 3 materials of each. And this kind of has to do with the synthesizing thing as far as for boss materials. I do think that they should not only just give you the boss drops, but then they should also just let you spend your energy and farm more boss materials. I think that time gating boss materials to level up characters is just not fun, because then what happens is that now your characters are stuck at, let's just say, level 6 traces because the new weekly boss just dropped and you can only farm 3 per week. Either increase the cap or just like we said, just have no time gating behind it. Just let us farm it as much as we want. If we have energy, we can farm it. So that is probably our biggest one. And also, like I said, with the synthesizing boss materials, which I'll pull back up the backpack as the example, I do think that they should let us, let's just say I have like 30 of these from playing the game in the very beginning, and all my 1.0 characters are all maxed out, right? I think that they should just let us convert these boss materials into the new ones so we can level up our new characters. That would be great. Hopefully you guys found this video enjoyable. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree, or if you guys have any ideas that you guys think should be added into Wuthering Waves for this Dear Wuthering Waves video.
Guys, if you liked today's YouTube video, best way to tell me is by liking the video, man.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys later. Peace.